Alright, guys, it's going to be a little bit more serious, I guess. A little bit more non-jokative. But it's going to be the current state of the game and if you should play it. Should you play Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade? And I'm going to tell you right now, short answer, no. You should really not play it. There's very little redeeming qualities in this game worth playing for. The art is incredible. I love the art. I love the character models. I love the animations they have and their attacks and whatnot. And I love character uniqueness in this game. A lot of characters in this game are very accurate to their show slash manga counterparts, right? Gojo here gets a limitless technique where he can't be touched by normal means of enemies, right? He I mean, not very not very accurate as Gojo leaves. I guess that can be true, right? Gojo doesn't finish his food, he leaves. It's like this, right? Black flashes being unique to kind of Nanami, Yuji's mainly. Nobaras can hit them. You know, the characters in game can that have hit them in the show can hit them here. Right, Mekamaru, because he's a puppet, he's immune to poison damage, but he's also immune to instant death. So like Mahito's soul transfiguration, but he's also immune to healing. You can't heal him via reverse curse technique of like Shoko's, who has a healing, right? Because she's a medic. So these characters in this game that have very unique kits, and even if like a character, let's say Sukuna is really good, he is. Say Sukuna is really good, he's busted, blah 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 blah. The thing he does is unique is the continuous damage, the laceration, right? But he will never replace someone, let's say I like is Ino. He does not do what Ino does. Ino can do number 2 Reki, right? Gives him double the turn or double the action in a turn. He does consistent damage over a nuking. He gives a very unique playstyle. Gives a very unique playstyle that Sukuna does not have. Sukuna is a very one-dimensional character in my mind. Kind of like the show currently for him. I can't lie. He is just shown as a villain, right? You hit the laceration, you double buff with skill 2, pride, and then you ult. And then you skill 3 to death. Or if you're doing sweep, you skill 3 mainly, and then sometimes you buff with skill 2 into ultimate. But like it's a very like one-dimensional playstyle, and Ino's the same, right? But Ino's just because he's different from everybody else, he feels unique, right? Nobody does what he does. Even Zonji doesn't really do it because he has to ult first, and he takes forever to get his ult, bro. Like this 20% here does not do crap. It does not feel like it helps him at all. The dailies are easy. You can do the dailies in like 5 minutes, right? Pop it in, do it, put your phone away, and you're set. But now for the actual meat of the video is going to be about the negatives of this game, and there are a lot of negatives in this game, unfortunately. And the first one I'm going to start off with is just the lack of content in this game to do. Like, everybody's already talked about them. I just want to talk about, as a player, I woke up today. I don't know anything about the community. I barely keep up with the Twitter's account, like the official account of the game's devs team. Game is just pretty dry. Like, it has been dry. It feels dry. There's nothing really to do in the game base kit. Like, you do the events, and you do the story mission, and that's about it. There really is not much to do after that. And the events are really easy, which is fine. Most gacha games do that, right? Have the events really, really easy so that new players, even day oneers, well, they probably can't beat it, but a week in, right, before the event leaves, if they just started at the beginning of the week, they could probably beat it at that point, right? So it's not necessarily a bad thing. I do think it should pretty much be easy for the general audience. But if you are a intermediate slash end gamer, it is so easy. It's legit zero thought in the game. This is literally the team I run for all events, all stories, besides the EX battles, and that's it. Autoplay, no thought, no team building. But that's literally it. So events are boring, nothing interesting in them, right? Like, you do this takes maybe I'll say like 10-20 minutes, right? You kind of click on these, you finish them, and then you go do the big boss fight at the end right here, right? You know, like you just play it. You gotta get 30k. You do that, and depending on your level and your characters, that may take you a while, right? If let's say you just don't have the right characters, or you just started a week, like my other account that I made since the first week of the game, and then I stopped playing on it. The highest level character is like 70. That can't hit 30k. Right, so that would take a while. But let's say you did beat it, and then what do? You just go to the event, you find the hardest boss with the most highest drop rate, and you hit auto and you play whatever you're doing. You just pull out your phone, turn it on, auto it with your max AP, because these take a while. Because if you're doing like 10 runs, they actually will take like 5 minutes or something, 5-10 minutes, depending on your team and how many turns it takes. You just put your phone down and you just leave it in the background while you do something else, and that's not really fun to me. I don't think anyone's sitting down JJK and being like, yes, I'm so excited to play the auto battle, and then you stare at it. It's bad, bro. It really is bad. So events are interesting, you know. Oh, there is one benefit, but I'll mention it later. One good thing I like about the events. But let's say you do that, and then what else do you do now? Right, you finish story like me, I guess. You finish story, you did all the EXs. Right, there's nothing to do in the story. The story is pretty alright. I actually don't mind it. I do like the original story that they have, even though I forgot all about it. I don't remember it anymore, but I did watch like a video that someone explained of it. Besides, so if you finish main story, which is really easy, it's the same difficulty as the events ones that come. Besides the EX battles, those are pretty difficult, I think, and those are actually probably one of the another high. Damn, that's another thing I really like of the game, the EX battles. I think those are really interesting for the most part. You finish the cursed object collection, right? You just go here, you just beat these. These are a little bit harder, right? You can see right here the the recommended combat power of them are a little bit higher. But you know, there's no rush to beat them or anything. You should rush to beat them a little bit, but it's okay. There's no like special condition, just don't have your team die. So Formidable Foe, this thing came out the first week. You beat it in the first week. Not this one. I think, no, you can't beat it. This one's really easy. They look scarier, right? They say high. Look at this combat recommended combat power, but they're only 93. They're only level 93. It's not really that insane. Let's see. Right, you beat those in a week. It's not too bad. This is all in the perspective. You're not really rushing too much. I mean, you probably are rushing your first week. Most people rush, I think, in their first week, right? Because you want to get all the content done as fast as possible, so you can more daily, like min-max your dailies, right? If you do the enhancement quest, obviously it's better to auto the highest difficulty, so you get the most EXP like back, right? So you do that, and then what? Like, you do domain investigation, I guess. But this is, you auto this, bro. You can do this like, at first it'll be really hard. It will be really hard for a new player, but you may have to manually play. But it's not really that interesting too, right? It's not like any brain twister type thing. You kind of, and if you're end game, you just auto it. Curse sweep now. This one is a little weird to discuss about because it feels weird because rank 10 is pretty difficult to achieve. I'm just going into it. Before I say this, I'm just gonna say the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm not free to play. Whoa! I don't recommend spending money in this game. Most I buy is the monthly pass from surveys. If you get Google surveys, I don't recommend you spend money, but if you do, side tangent, I do recommend. This is the best one. Everything else in this game is really expensive. I guess that is another negative. I don't really look at that like that because these are all extra if you want them. This is the only thing really worth buying, to be honest. But it's Curse Sweep. They only give you 4 attempts a week. 4 attempts, and you can boost it 2 more with the by spending 160 cubes, which is a single. More than a single. A single is 150. So you spend more than a single to do it twice. and a week, and you have to rank 7. Anything higher than rank 7 is the same rewards anyways. But my biggest gripe with it is the low amount of attempts, 5, and the RNG that comes from these ranks. If you see here, nothing here is basically guaranteed for the most part. Like, it is guaranteed you get 3 of these, right? Right, you get more from rank 7 than rank 6 here. Rank 5, blah, 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 blah. But after rank 7, it kind of mellows out. Unless they do actually boost the rate of these, I don't really know. I personally don't really care nearly enough to, like, bring out an Excel spreadsheet to find out. I just play the game, right? Just play the game, get it, and I leave. But the biggest issue is it's RNG based. If you get the bottles and the medal, these are RNG based, and you need the bottles. You need these. You need 10 of them per SP buff character at minimum. 10. And let's say you log into the game for the week. It's Monday, and you boot up the game, and you do crit sweep. You get rank 10. You know, because you're Chad, you're the best player in the world, blah, 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 blah. And you auto it for the 4 turns you have. 5 turns, or 6 turns. Well, you did 6. You did your first turn, which gave you the initial reward. So you have 5 auto sweeps, right? And then you don't get a single one of these bottles. What do you do for that week? Well, you can't really SP buff your characters anymore, right? You didn't get a single bottle. And this isn't even that rare to happen. I've had moments where I did all 5 auto sweeps and no bottles. It sucks. It really sucks. I don't know if anyone mentions this, or my luck is just really bad, or I only notices it when it's bad. But it is bad. It is super bad. And these resources are very important for a lot of characters. It's very important, right? It's the difference between a character being absolute garbage, like C tier, D tier character, to being A tier. Even some S tier, like Green Yuji here. He is like B tier, bro, without his SP buff. He low-key sucks. He is bad without his SP buff. But you put it on him and he's like S tier. It's the biggest gap ever, right? Yellow Nobara, she's absolutely mid. But if you give her the SP buff, she becomes a low S tier or whatever. Mekamaru goes from absolute worthless. Well, not worthless, because he had good break damage, like initially, until being S tier or A tier, high A tier, right? And then Junpei goes from absolute dead serious useless. Nobody used this guy before his SP buff, but now with his SP buff, he's really good. He's also high tier, right? Like, it's the difference between a character being really bad and being very good. And if you just spend that week 6 runs, because you spent 160, which I don't really recommend. You just spent that week, you can't SP buff, so you can't even like try out the character for that week. Like, let's say I did it and then I didn't get Yuji's SP buff. Well, I gotta wait next week. Yep, I'm not running Yuji without his SP buff. That's the whole reason I want to buff him. I'm not running him without it. So that's just a week gone of character experimenting, right? Team building, the core of this game, team building. You can't do it. So, okay. What else do you do then, right? You're like, right, tower. I'll be honest with you right now, up until a couple months ago, I was at floor 40 because I didn't care about tower. And I don't think most of you should. Like, it really does not matter too much. It's not going anywhere. Just wait until you get good characters and then you can like sweep it blindfolded. Right? Like, it does not matter too much. And that's my issue with the thing. It's not fun. Like, okay, floor 1 to 60 are fun. They are actually pretty fun to me because they're interesting. I think they have very interesting kits and they're not damage sponges. But after floor 60, it is so bad. It is less skill and more damage check / are you a meta slave? Because if you guys remember floor 66 here, this guy sucks to play against. And it's not even like, oh, it's only floor 66, bro. Dude, it's on floor 73 right here. I'm playing against it right now. This guy stuns. This guy stuns. There's 2 enemies here that stun you. And it's like, there's no counterplay to this. You just sit there. You sit on your knees and pray that they don't stun you for the day. You'd be like, oh, I just ulted with Zonji because guess what? They're weak. They're weak only to physical techniques. So who's the best physical technique in this game? Zonji. And you know what he needs? 3 turns to do his damage. First is his ult, and then 2 turns of damage. Let's say you ult, and then next turn the boss stuns you. Ooh, you wasted those 2 turns where you would do damage, and then guess what? You don't win in 30 turns. But if you think about it, what do I do differently? Don't ult, and then what? Like, waste 2 turns, possibly? If I don't ult that turn, he still stuns me. Okay. I guess I'll just do the damage another turn. Right? And then that's what? I wasted a turn not choosing the ult because of the possibility to be stunned. And then I get stunned. That's 2 turns. You only have 30 turns. And if you don't have the character, like I don't have Yellow Yaga, I don't have a good, consistent DPS. I only have Zonji, and he's not even A1, which is my fault. Whatever. Is that fun? Is that considered skill, guys? Floor 66, same thing. Is it skill that this guy stuns you? Apply stun. AoE stunning. This is a boss that stuns AoE, and you don't want that. So you want to do single target damage, but his single target damage does a lot of damage, right? And this is where this game actually, I do enjoy the aspect of it, is he does a lot of damage on single target, but he can be easily countered with provoke / taunt, right? Blue, like Miwa can do it. Blue Miwa, if you have her, or what I use, which was Blue Inamaki, you can prevent the boss from just damaging you with a single target, right? Where is he? He's somewhere around right here. Kelp, bro. Counterattack. Right? That's good. I like that. That's interesting for the boss fight. You can counter him. You can't counter floor 73, by the way. It's AoE, no matter what. Stunning. It's AoE. It's their ult. And they get their ult way too fast for you to counter ult. There's no yellow character that stops the boss from ulting, like reduce ult gauge. There isn't a single one. I don't think. Maybe there is. I'll have to look into it, I guess. But it's just like, okay, so I like the taunt ability, right? But it's not foolproof. You still can be stunned. And let's say I like to use Ino. Okay, I need to reapply Reki number 2. I get stunned that turn. I don't get my second Reki. Then now I have to waste 3 more turns setting up Reki number 2 again. There's a lot of RNG, right? And the actual best way to beat this boss is to have him ult 24/7. You want him to ult, because when he ults, he only does single target damage, like single target attack, not a stun. So you just have him ult 24/7. But the means of forcing you to do that with the stun is very evil, very toxic, very like skillless, I would say. This one has skill because you can team build a provoke counterattack character, right? Like Blue Miwa, who's in standard. Everybody has her besides me, apparently. So that is interesting. But like I said, floor 73, you can't. You just get stunned. There's no counterplay to it. You get stunned. They like, whatever complaints you have with 66, it just gets worse in the higher floors. It gets worse. So is doing tower what you want to do? Like, imagine this. You finish your studious activities for the day. You're completely brain cooked, or you go to work, whichever one, doesn't really matter too much. But you just start your day, you finish it off, or you're taking a break. You have a 30-minute break, right? Or an hour, depending on how many hours you work for that day. You pull out your phone and you want to play JJK Phantom Parade. Oh, but there's really nothing to do. The events are kind of boring. There's no difficulty to them. Investigation is boring. Sweep you already did, because you can do it in one day in like 10 minutes. Let's do tower. Yeah, I want to climb tower. You boot up the tower. You run your team. For that next 30 minutes to an hour, you get stun locked. I don't know about you guys, but that's not fun to me. And let's say you don't even get stun locked. You get damage checked. You will get damage checked in this game like crazy. You don't have the characters that do high enough damage? Too bad. You're not winning the fight. You're not going to win the fight. You just won't. You don't min-max your damage output, you don't win. There's no team building in this game. Like, there's only like 2 strategies you run. You know, but it's no team building, bro. It's like there's 2 strategies for a floor. Let's say floor 66. What strat do I run here? Okay, I can run the provoke, right? The counterattack strat. And then, or if not, I can run the domain Gojo strat. And Sukuna, right? You have 2 meta-defining characters. And you can maybe win. Because Sukuna is immune to stun. You don't have to rely on, but your other 2 supporters are not immune to stun. So they could get stunned anyways. They can still get stunned. Like, you following along here? Let's say I run this team here, right? Let's say I run this team. I ignore the recollection, but I run this team. My 2 support / debuffers get stunned. Kamo and Momo. Sukuna and Gojo ult. We do good damage, right? But without any of the buffs, it kind of isn't that good overall. Like, you didn't min-max it, right? Like, you didn't get the maximum output. And then you lose because you didn't hit the output you needed. But why did you not get the output you needed? Because you had something out of your control. You got stunned. You lose. What do you do then? You just rerun it. And obviously this team is way more consistent, right? Like, then let's say you didn't run the domain Gojo or the counterattack strat, you'd lose. You lose. There's no other team strategies for it that I could think of. I'm sure there's millions of other people that can't think of a better one. Maybe there's a stall tactic with Awakened Gojo, right? You just reduce the damage to a gazillion time. Yes. But then you can still get stunned. He can still get stunned, right? So I mean, unless you do this, you get attack notification again. Right, you do it again, you reset the counter. Is that fun to you guys? Like, not to me. Not to me, man. It's not that fun. So, tower's boring. It's just pay to win, right? Play to win. Really no team building aspect to it. You know, limited floors. This also sucks, dude. I hate this, man. I hate content, limited content that is gatekept by power, by like account level. If you don't have the right characters or the right teams or the right levels, you can't do these. Obviously it is good because obviously it doesn't matter as much because you get a month to set up and win them. But let's say you couldn't beat it because, I don't know, let's say you look up a YouTube video, how to win limited floor, blah, 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 3. Domain Gojo. Oh, I don't have Domain Gojo, actually. I tried to summon for him, but I couldn't pity him. You know, blah, 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 blah. Something happened, whatever. Okay. What? And then, like, let's say there's no other strat. Nobody's uploaded any other strat online. What do you do in this scenario? Either you get really good at team building yourself, but if you get really good at team building yourself, you don't need the YouTube videos anymore. So nobody's interacting with the community on YouTube. And then you win, you beat it. Yay, yippee, you won. But you can't beat it. What happens? You miss out on 1,500 cubes. Half a multi. If you can't beat it. Cool. Fun. Exciting, I guess. The content itself is not bad. I think the limited floor fights are pretty interesting overall. They are, I think, a little bit way better than the actual tower floors, but that's because they know it's limited, so they aren't as toxic, I guess. Like, you know, but you can't beat it. You miss out on that. That sucks for the month, right? That's half a multi gone, and this game is already very scarce with cubes. I'm just gonna say what I think they could fix in this game. And it starts with the SP boss fights. The Mojito boss fight, the what's his name? I forgot his name already. Jogo, like, you know those fights, right, where you get to choose the difficulty? I like those fights. I think those are good. I think they should continue those. But what they do here is, instead of limiting the rewards to if you can beat it on the highest difficulty, is just make it so the higher difficulty you go, the faster you get rewards, right? Like what they have for the like a lot of these events where, like, they use those tickets, right? Exchange tokens, right? Let's say you can't beat the highest special grade right here, right? But you can be very hard. Well, you'll still get the same reward, just a little bit longer. It'll just take a little bit more time than somebody who can beat special. But the SP boss fights, if you can't beat SP 24, you will not get the reward no matter what. So I think what they can do is allow multiple turns, multiple fights, like Domain Investigation has. Let's say limited floor 1, you can't beat it in one turn and one team. Team just does not have the DPS. Well, make a second team, come back in and finish the fight, right? So it encourages people to level up multiple characters, rely less on meta defining teams. You can, right? And newer players can still beat the content, and it can still be very hard, right? They can still keep the difficulty of it, so people that like to beat it and like limited turns, whatever, like 5 turns, can still boast about beating it in the short turns. But people that can't do that could still beat it and get the same reward, just a little bit longer. I think that's the best way to go for it. Start out and just make sure everybody's on the same level, the same opportunity to get cubes. And I know people out there are gonna say it's a gacha game, they have to make money somewhere. I'm so tired of this argument, because if nobody's having fun in the game, people are gonna quit. Dog, I don't quit, but I'm about to quit. Dude, I want to quit too. This game is not fun. I seen what JP is doing, and it's the exact same thing as they're doing now. Higher damage sponges, higher damage checks, more artificial difficulty. It's not good. I don't like it. It's like, and bro, as a light spender, right, at the $2.99 monthly pass, I still feel really scarce on cubes. I save. You can, on my account, you can look at it. I'm not missing that many characters, right? Like I'm definitely missing some characters because I'm a light spender and I just have really bad luck. Obviously, like everybody else, everybody has really bad luck. It doesn't matter. Like if I'm doing bad, I can't imagine the free to play aspect of it, because at most I'm getting 340 cubes a month. Like 3,400, because you get 400 paid for free. Well, not for free, but you know, initially, and then you get 100 every day. 30 days, that's 3,000. I get one multi. Every month I get one multi more than someone who isn't, or who is free to play. Which doesn't sound all that much, but if you look at the price points, dude, they charge you like $20 for like 30. How many cubes, bro? They are overpricing this game like crazy. I'm just gonna quickly talk about this. I don't really like talking about this because you really shouldn't spend money on this game. If I want to do one multi, 3K right here, 4K right here, 40K. I mean $40, right? $40, like nothing here is like. I guess this is appealing, right? 20 multis for 15. That's pretty bad, but that's a starter gacha. That's one time. And then they did have another one where they give you 10 tickets for $1, which I already bought. It's just not here anymore because it's a one time. I did buy that one because it was a multi for like $1. I just did it. Why not, right? And like, it's very scarce in cubes. They really hold off on it, and it's only for summoning too. You don't use cubes for anything else. So if you summon, you're not lucky. You're cooked. You're cooked, bro. But that's my rant for. Damn, 37 minutes. I thought I ranted a little shorter than that. But I'm gonna quickly rant about the community, and I know what I say is gonna generalize them, but understand I do like most of the people in the community for the most part. I don't interact with everybody. The most I interact with is Discord, the main Discord server, and that one sucks. Oh my god, I hate the main Discord server. I actually will not probably go there anymore, just like besides to do the Discord events, because it sucks, bro. Like I said, I mentioned sprinkled in throughout this video, the ego. The ego of people in this game is insane to me for no apparent reason. I don't understand it. I really don't. I'm sure it's in every game ever, but this game specifically, there's like no sympathy at all for anyone. Like I mentioned, let's say I didn't summon, or I did summon, or I didn't summon, I didn't get Domain Gojo. No matter what happens, I didn't get Domain Gojo. I didn't get Sukuna either. Right? You know, and I'm like, hey guys, I need help with floor X. Floor, I don't know, 42. You know what they're gonna say to me? Think about it for a second here. Let's think. What would a normal, healthy community say to somebody versus, I don't know, what the JJKPP, community is? Me, I would say, oh, here's a different team idea right here. You can run this. You know what they would say? Lol, uninstall. You suck. What do you mean you didn't summon for Domain Gojo? What do you mean you didn't get Sukuna? They reran twice, both of them. Dog, you don't get enough cubes to really care, bro. Like, if you miss them one time, you're so behind. Like, like the pity in this game sucks too, bro. Like they just say you suck. And that's the majority of them. I'm talking about the majority of them. Majority of the people won't help you for the most part. And the ones that do, for some reason, I don't know, they still ego you. Like, let's say you struggle to beat floor 10. I don't know, something like 10, right? They will just say, wow, that was such an easy floor. I can't believe you didn't beat it. Or any of the limited floors. Just say I couldn't beat limited floor 1. They'd be like, they wouldn't, like, you'll show a run that fails, and then they will say, oh, wow, this floor was really easy. Why? Why do you have this ego, dog? You do know this game is not, like, that skillful, right? Like, there's not that much skill in this game. Like, I'm sure there is, like, there obviously is skill. I'm not saying there isn't any, but it's just really weird for me. Like, maybe I'm just not used to a lot of communities because I don't hang around communities, because most of them are really bad. I can't lie. Most anime communities suck. Like, most games that I do enjoy are bad. Like, they have really bad community. But just like, really, guys? We really have to, like, constantly keep flexing our ego? Like, I feel like, yeah, that floor is easy. Okay. No help, no advice or anything. No, like, like, I'm not even talking about, like, guys, I expect everybody to be nice, I'm just being like, why is it the majority of the community, like, majority of them doing this thing? Like, what? That doesn't make sense. It's just, I don't know. So I don't really like the community that much, and it's not very, like, entertaining to me to, you know what it is? You know how bad I know this is? When I was helping people in the Discord, like, privately, just like someone would post help or something in like the guides and not like in the general chat, which is what you should do. Please do not ask for help in the general chat, because nobody will help you for the most part. And if they do, thank God they did. Maybe one guy will, I don't know. But when I help people in the guides back then, like in the Pacific Guide channel, a guy said to me, wow, a community that actually helps somebody. What is wrong with people, bro? What do you mean? Obviously I don't know his stance. I don't know how many communities he's been into. What do you mean? Thank God a community with someone actually helps someone. What do you mean, bro? This is not the norm? No, nobody wants to help anyone online? I was so confused. And like, these are people, by the way, I helped people that didn't understand much of anything at all. Like, anything you think common sense. Let's say nuking. The term to nuke a boss. Some of you guys would be like, oh, that means to do a high amount of damage in a turn. What a nuke would do in real life. A high damage in a short term. Except the nuke would be radioactive and cause long-term effects. Compared to this game where it doesn't cause long-term effects for the most part. Right? And I was like, I had to explain that to someone. I told someone nuking is a very common term for doing high damage output in one turn. That's all I said. I explained it simply and easy. I'm like, why is that so hard for people to do online? Not everybody knows everything. Not everybody is the best at everything. Just because you are good at something does not mean everybody should be considered below you that you are good at. No, that's something really. But I hate the community, man. I love Reddit though. Weirdly enough, the Reddit community is actually very helpful. I think because there's a lot of new people in there. Very commonly in the one Reddit, I think there's 2 Reddit JJK fan of parades, but okay. And the one I interact with is like the smaller one, which is fine. I don't really mind. And it's mainly people asking for help because it's the majority of the casual community. And guess what? People help, bro. There's people helping. Not that much, but there's people helping. There's like nobody. Depending on who listens to this video, you may go out and do it now. But there isn't anyone that complains about it. Nobody's like looking at a guy's account and says, wow, you suck. You didn't get Sukuna, huh? Yeah. I think you should re-roll. What? What? He's like, oh, how do I beat Florist X? Oh, you can't beat it? I beat that last night. Blindfolded. With no hand. like, there's nobody saying that. And obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit of the Discord, but actually, nah, I think the Discord is as bad as I'm saying. It just isn't good, man. I don't know. Community sucks. It doesn't really make me like absolutely like, it doesn't make me excited to kind of continue the game community wise. And I think a good community really can really like withstand a lot for a game, right? A nice small like cooperative tight community is way better than a large one that is unorganized and whatever. But that's just me, and here's my 45-minute rant. I know I've only made videos recently and it doesn't really make sense for me to complain about the game, since usually these rant videos are after you're like a well-established creator, but I just have to let this out there, dude, to just not play the game. It's just not worth getting into. Enjoy it from the Windows side if you can, right? Like just look through the window, see someone playing the game, like, wow, that game looks pretty all right, and then that's it. Don't play the game. Play something else, bro. Play like don't play any gacha games, bro. Just go play The Witcher 3. Go play Hades. If you're on a phone, go play Resident Evil 2 mobile. Play Dead Space mobile if it's still out there. I don't know, just spend the extra like $3 if you can. If you can't, go on Google survey rewards and lie on those surveys, dog. If you want, lie on them, get the maximum like 70 cents per survey. Just absolutely gaslight Google. Give them the worst answer possible so it ruins everybody else's life, but you get 70 cents for it. So I mean, obviously I don't do it. I'm pretty honest on them because I'm just a good guy, I guess. I don't want to give them bad reviews or something, and when I open up Google Chrome on my laptop and be like, wow, I see where my input went. This looks horrible. Like, I don't really want that. Obviously, it's not that big of an impact. I doubt they really care about the surveys too much, but maybe they do. I don't know. I don't work in Google. But yeah, just do that. Just play fully finished games, man. They're way better than these free predatory ones. But you can enjoy the game. Like, I would love if JJK Fan of Parade came out with like an art book or something, kind of showcasing how the game's made. The 2D models, the rigging of them, maybe even 3D. It could be 3D for all I know. But the art process, right? Like a lot of this art looks good. Like the one I have here, Nanami, and it looks super good. I would hope in the future I can create something of that quality. But the game sucks, bro. I ain't playing this game like that, bro. I only play it now for recording's sake.